everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having an awesome week because you are awesome people. Today I want to talk about two mistakes that I believe Brian Kohberger made, which have got him in the hot seat right now. All right, so you don't want to miss this one. Grab your coffee or a nice cup of tea as we begin our story.
According to the newly released affidavit, Kohberger had applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall. He wrote in his application essay that, quote, he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological data.
Kohberger's first mistake is being condescending. All right? Here's a guy in a PhD program who is applying for a job that only requires a high school diploma or a GED, being a policeman in Pullman. And yet, to make things worse, he's being condescending. Look at his language in his application. He uses the word better, which implies that the agency's current methods are deficient in some way. And when you couple the word better with the word rural, the statement becomes even more condescending because it seems he's suggesting that, urban methods are what? Up to speed, and it's only the rural areas that need to be updated or, you know, you know what I'm saying. And so imagine a police chief or some administrator or law enforcement reading this that's from a small rural town over in Idaho or Washington or wherever. What do you think? What type of impression do you think this made on him? And I'm not saying that Brian did this purposely. I'm just saying this is the way he comes off. And so if you notice, most of the people who have something to say about Brian didn't like him. And so they had no problem, going along with a script that would paint him as somebody that actually did the Idaho 4 crimes because they didn't like him.
In high school, he would talk, he would laugh and stuff like that. But when I saw him a couple of years later, it was just kind of creepy. I don't know what happened. It's like a switch went off and he just changed.
His students at Washington didn't like him.
Kohberger was working as a teaching assistant in Washington, and one student claims his demeanor and his strict grading changed after the murders.
He started grading everybody just hundreds, and now obviously he seems like he was probably pretty preoccupied.
Now, the student said that he was coming to class with stubble and quieter as if he didn't have his act together. But we know this girl said that he called her and made an appointment to get his hair cut before Thanksgiving. So he was concerned about his appearance after the murders. We hear it with our own ears.
What?
And the first time I was ever contacted by Brian was through voicemail.
Hi, my name is Brian. Would you be able to give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
My last appointment with him was December 2nd at 1:45 p.m.
After the murders?
It's crazy to find out I interacted with this person. I touched this person's hair. I made this person look and feel good about themselves.
I saw his mugshot and just about fell on the floor.
The bottom line is he's not coming off as likable. He's not making an effort to come off as likable, is what I'm saying. And that matters when you're pursuing positions and social interactions where it's important for people to be able to vibe with you. And so being condescending, it probably stopped him from being hired from the police department. And it also could have made him put a target on his back as far as needing a scapegoat for these crimes. Now, I want to take a quick look at an article about being condescending, and then we'll go to mistake number 2. Now, this article in the Entrepreneur is called 10 Behaviors People Find Condescending. It was written by Frances Dodd, and she published it September 12, 2022. The first one is explaining things that people already know. It says they're talking at you wide-eyed, offering each key point like a gift. So after almost 30 years in prison, you won the Nobel Peace Prize, and you hardly have the heart to derail their monologue and say, yeah, I know who Nelson Mandela is. All right? Explaining things that people already know. Number two, telling someone they always or never do something. All right? No one likes to be put in a box. When you make a broad generalization about someone else's behavior, that's a condescending way to make them feel judged and misunderstood. And we can apply this to the rural and the better, because you're saying that all rural police departments and law enforcement agencies in a rural area could use better methods, and that's a broad generalization. He shouldn't have said rural. Okay, he should have just said law enforcement, period. But when you say rural, that's, to me, that's making a generalization about rural areas. Number three, interrupting to correct people's pronunciation. People do this all the time. And maybe a parent should be doing it, but in a social interaction, it's condescending. It's saying, hey, you said that wrong, you did that wrong, you're not being perfect, when in actuality, none of us are perfect. Everyone has mispronounced something. And in a social setting like YouTube or social media, where everybody uses slang and misspells words and stuff on purpose, it's really not a good place for it, but people do it, okay? It's saying, hey, I need to correct you. Okay, and I don't know, it can really put a damper on a conversation. What number were we on? Number four, saying take it easy or calm down, chill out, or relax. Okay, I guess it depends on the situation, but I can understand how that can be condescending. It says for women in particular, being told to take it easy is peak patronizing. Adjacent, equally aggravating directives include chill out, calm down, and relax. No matter who you're speaking to, when you tell someone to take it easy, you're suggesting that their excitement, concern, or general response to something is either excessive or invalid. All right? People are entitled to their feelings and their reactions. I totally agree. All right? Now, if you watch Judge Mathis, he'll kick you out of the courtroom for telling him to calm down or to take it easy. I've seen him kick people out for both of them. And so, it is a little disrespectful, but it depends on the context. Number five, saying you actually like an idea. This is a subtle way of saying, wow, you did something smart, and I never expected that from you. So the word actually can be condescending depending on how you use it and when you use it. Number six, doling out compliment sandwiches. That's when you say something nice, then you say the criticism that you really want to give, and then you say something nice after it, to kind of buffer it and make the impact not so bad, because what you're saying, they're not going to like it. And so they're sandwiching what they say between positive things, so, to lessen the impact. And like it says here, it says, just give it to me straight. Word, I agree. Number seven, demeaning names like Chief or Honey. I agree. Honey or Han. For women, I personally don't like when people call me Hun. It doesn't send me into a rage, but I just rather not be called Hun, especially by a woman or female that's younger than me. To me, that's ridiculous. All right, calling somebody Chief. I don't know how the guys feel about that. Maybe you can give us your perspective in the chat. But I know I don't like to be called Honey or Han. But like I said, it's not the end of the world if it happens. But if I had to choose, I would say don't do it. Patting people on the head, I think that's a given. All right, this might seem like a no-brainer, but it happens more often than you think. I hope not. All right, patting, stroking, smacking, or pinching, and there are certain scenarios. Bottom line is, keep your hands to yourself. First lesson in kindergarten, keep your hands to yourself. Name dropping. This is number 9. This is an ancient and highly transparent method for communicating superiority from a condescending worker. Whether you're talking about how Jack Dorsey was at your yoga retreat or how you're on a first name basis with Chrissy Teigen, I guess her name's sister's husband, you're always going to come across as seeming like you think famous people are pretty important. It's fine to be excited that you found yourself in the presence of a celebrity or powerful figure. This issue is when you go to the trouble to name drop. All right. Well, what do you think about that? If I met Michael Jackson, or I met Michael Jordan, or I met Oprah Winfrey, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell somebody. Okay. So I would be guilty of that. Number 10, telling someone, come on, you know better than that. That's a good one. Because, I mean, how do you know whether they know better than that? And, I mean, what they're saying, maybe that's good enough. This sort of side shame on you comment can be used in all kinds of situations, but it's almost always seen as a condescending remark. I agree. Come on, you know better than that, or you're better than that. Okay, the person saying that, I mean, how are you qualified to tell somebody what they're saying or they themselves are better than whatever they're saying or doing? I think that is condescending, but people do it. All right, so I'm just saying these are just some things that I think turn people off and make them not like you. I mean, you don't have to stop doing it. It's just that people are not going to like you. And some of the people that do it think that it places them among the elite, quote unquote. But actually, it just turns people away. And so I think Brian's personality could use some tweaking. I think he could probably use some humility. And nothing's more humbling than a quadruple murder case. The second mistake Kohberger made was applying to be a police officer. Okay, he was already working on his third degree, and so he was overly qualified for that job. He should have aimed higher and sought a position where everybody has 2 or 3 college degrees, like a researcher or a college professor right there at WSU. Okay, it's called get in where you fit in. Nobody with an associate or a bachelor's degree is going to bring you into their agency for you to take over and take their job once you finish your PhD program. Nobody's doing that, okay? He did a good job of positioning himself, all right? But when he applied to the police department, he aimed too low. And all he did was familiarize himself to the police.
How are you?
I'm so sorry. I'm allowed to cry.
Sure.
I just want to call my boyfriend. I just want to go home.
Oh, okay. Do you have a phone with you?
Yes. No.
Oh, okay. Where's home?
California. Not a good
Okay.
number. I just want to go home.
Okay.
But I know the way home.
So how can I help you now?
I know it though.
Okay.
I know home.
So I need you to answer one question at a time
Yes.
for me. Okay.
I trust Pullman /
So you said 425 campus is your
No, 425.
425?
Wait, can I ask something first? I'm so sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this. Am I allowed?
You
am
can
I
ask
getting in trouble
anything.
for saying my address?
No.
Okay, 425.
425?
My boyfriend's never been here, and I just want my boyfriend, and I want to make sure he's okay, and I want to go home.
Do you know where he is?
No.
What's your phone number? Okay. So how old are you?
20.
Okay. So here's the problem. You're going completely the wrong way.
I know. I'm trying to find my boyfriend. He's 22, legal age. I'm just trying to find
So
him.
where do you think he is?
That way.
Why did you try to get on the bus?
I didn't.
Okay.
My home's that way.
Right. So why would the UCLA people tell me that you tried to get on the bus?
I didn't. My home, I promise you, my home's that way. I wouldn't get on a bus because my home is that way.
Yeah, but you're walking the other way. So
I'm trying to find I'm trying to find my boyfriend. I
right.
promise.
So where do you think he is?
I can guarantee you, 425 northeast. That way. I know that.
Okay.
I'm trying to find my boyfriend because from
what's Avenue?
my address.
Okay. You just told me it was Street.
425 northeast is
Right.
about 3 blocks that way. Yes.
Yeah. A little further than that, and you're going the wrong way,
No.
and you're lost, and you're by yourself. So for your own safety, you are under arrest for being a minor in a public place exhibiting the effects of having consumed liquor. So just relax. I'm going to put handcuffs on you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me a second to get your seatbelts off here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, if you want to step this way and through this door, and then if you turn to the wall on your right here, I'll get the next door. So over here.
Sorry. Yep, this way?
Yep, you're good.
Sorry.
So I just need to check your boots real quick, make sure there's nothing in there.
Yep.
No knives or anything.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to take the handcuffs off, and then you can sit in the brown chair right there.
Perfect. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
You're good. There we go.
Thank you.
Go ahead. If you could put all your jewelry in this bin, please.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Question.
Sure.
Is there any chance I can get a tissue?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm so sorry. My nose is red. Thank you.
You're good. And there's a trash can here too.
All good.
Okay, so my dispatcher had trouble getting a driver's return on your names. So is your driver's license through California?
I don't have it with me, but yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Spell your last name for me again.
D.
Okay. No, just shoes. So I got a different spelling. Do you want to see if you can run and attach that?
Yes. It's usually mispronounced.
No, I was talking to her. Sorry. You're
I'm
good.
so sorry.
No worries. Okay. And so you're at 425 Street?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so you're going to be here for at least a few hours, unfortunately. So if you could step in here. Would you like a blanket? It can get pretty cold in here.
Can I? Weird question.
Sure.
Can I have my shoes?
No, sorry.
You're fine.
But I'll grab a blanket for you just in case.
Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Thank you. I'm just gonna ask. Because I don't know my right here. May I ask what I did wrong?
So my biggest concern is for your safety, and then the law violation is you're under 21 and you're really intoxicated in a public place.
Okay.
So minor intoxicated in public is the only law violation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, sir.
How you feeling?
I just want my bed.
What's that?
I just want my bed.
Oh, okay. If you could come out here, please. Okay, so I need to get your photograph and fingerprints. If you want to stand in front of that blue wall.
Down.
Do you know where you're at right now?
I do.
Oh, okay. Do you remember what happened earlier?
I do.
Oh, okay. So if you could just stand there and look straight towards the camera. And stay in that same position. Just turn your head to your right, please. Yep. Thank you.
May I use hand sanitizer?
Yes.
Thank you. Ooh, we got a cut.
So if you could come on over here, I need to get your fingerprints. So if you want to step back just a little bit, we're going to start with your 4 fingers of your right hand in the middle of that screen. If you're at the football game, so I understand what you're saying. It just doesn't make sense from the point of view of being 8 blocks away from the football game, going away from campus.
Because he's never been here before, sorry.
Right.
I never added that. So I was trying to find it. I didn't know where he was.
Right.
So I just
but
didn't know.
Wandering down random streets in Pullman in the middle of the night is not going to find him.
So I'm sorry.
He said that you went into a building to use the restroom and then you were gone and he was still at the football game.
I was just scared for him. I'm sorry.
So if you want to have a seat in that brown chair, I'll be right with you. So I understand what you're saying. You don't really need to apologize. I just think some of your decisions weren't really logical, probably because of intoxication.